Welcome back, time travelers and trivia junkies. You've just tuned in to another thrilling edition of Talk Radio. And this isn't just any Thursday. Oh no, this is Time Warp Thursday, Season 2, Episode 130. Coming to you live-ish, on July 24th, 2025. Let's break it down. We've officially cruised through 56.16% of the year. That's 29 weeks and 2 days. Or if you're tracking time like a space captain, 205 days, 4,920 minutes, 295,200 minutes, or a whopping 17,712,000 seconds of 2025 is behind us. Let that sink in for a minute. That's 17 million chances to do something weird, wonderful, or just wildly unforgettable. And hey, if you haven't done that yet, you're in luck. We're about to dive headfirst into some of the strangest, most mind-bending corners of time. I'm your host, Jonathan Riley, resident radio renegade, part-time paradox investigator, and full-time history nerd. Tonight, I'll be your guide through another hour of wormhole-worthy stories, memory lane misadventures, and moments so mysterious you'll wonder if you're still in this timeline. We've got a jam-packed episode tonight, a historical mystery that still baffles experts to this day, local legends and neighborhood notes from right here in Lakewood, and a few unexpected twists that might just change the way you look at the past. So grab your favorite snack, adjust your tinfoil hat, and buckle into that armchair time machine, because the past is calling. And here at Time Warp Thursday, we always answer. So, let's do this.
Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit in a plan and I found out that I can execute. If I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom, read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Yeah. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. And like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your reward that gives you your purpose.
The following is rated TV MA and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hi, ladies and gents. The first segment here is Local Legends, Lakewood Legends, and this week we are spotlighting the original House of Donuts. If you've ever stood in line before sunrise on Gravity Lake Drive, you probably know the smell. Fresh maple glaze, a whisper of cinnamon, and that classic deep-fried warmth. It's the original House of Donuts, Lakewood's legendary sugar temple since 1959. Born in the heart of the space age, this A-frame icon was founded by Bob and Marilyn Cheatham, serving up hand-cut classics before oat milk was even a thought. Today, it's still mixing batter daily. No shortcuts, no factory, made fluff. Just real deal donuts made from scratch. Under the care of Lakewood native and world-class speed skater Tom Peterson, the shop hasn't just survived, it's thrived. Through decades of trends, cronuts, cupcakes, kale chips, House of Donuts has stayed true. Buttery maple bars, crunchy apple fritters, cake donuts so big they dare you to finish them alone. And the place still got that googie charm, a nod to mid-century optimism, all swooping angles and neon glow. It's not just donuts, it's architecture you can snack on. You'll find everyone here. Bleary-eyed commuters, families in minivans, retired cops who've been coming since the Kennedy years. Even the leftovers find a home, regularly donated to local food banks and nonprofits. And now, after more than 6 decades, they're not slowing down. Renovations are planned to restore the original shop, and a new Tacoma Lake location is on the rise, bringing a little piece of Lakewood legend to a wider world. So whether you're a lifelong regular or first-timer in town, do yourself a favor. Swing by 9638 Gravity Lake Drive. Get the maple bar, or two, because here in Lakewood, some legends are glazed, filled, and served warm. Alright, next up is Neighborhood Notes. Each week we'll pick a street or a neighborhood or a place, and we will discuss what that place is like, or that street, or that neighborhood. This week I'm going back to my childhood growing up on Diamond Boulevard. So, Neighborhood Notes, Diamond Boulevard. So welcome back to Neighborhood Notes, where we walk through the overlooked, the everyday, and the unexpectedly beautiful corners of our community. Today we're taking a stroll down Diamond Boulevard Southwest, tucked in the Lakeview neighborhood of Lakewood, right near the edge of Tacoma. It's not a flashy street, no big neon signs, no luxury condos, but what it does have is history, quiet charm, and some of the most consistent curb appeal in the 98499. Diamond Boulevard is lined with homes built in the 50s, low-slung ramblers with big front yards, carports, and just enough personality to make each one feel different. You'll see mature trees, trimmed hedges, and the occasional front porch swing still hanging on from decades past. Some homes, like the one at 4817 Diamond, have been completely remodeled with quartz countertops, updated HVAC, and sleek LVP flooring. Others still wear their original brickwork proudly, like time capsules with a fresh coat of paint. This is one of those streets where folks wave when you walk by, where someone's always out mowing the lawn, where kids still ride bikes in the summer. The lots are large, usually around 7,500 square feet, leaving room for vegetable gardens, backyard sheds, or an afternoon barbecue. And inside these houses, you'll often find barn-style doors, remodeled kitchens, and bright open layouts. It's the kind of neighborhood where starter homes turn into forever homes without anyone meaning to. Diamond Boulevard isn't just cozy, it's convenient. You're minutes from Bridgeport Way, Lakewood Town Center, and I-5. Whether you're commuting to Joint Base Lewis McChord or just grabbing a late night snack, nothing's too far. And if you need a breath of fresh air, you've got Ward's Lake Park, Seeley Lake, and Chambers Creek all within a short drive. Diamond might be quiet, but it's far from isolated. Now, if you're wondering what it costs to live here, homes along Diamond Boulevard are sitting in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. The one at 4816 Diamond recently went pending for around $420,000. Another down the street closed at $415,000 after a full modern update. So while it's still affordable by Pierce County standards, the word is out, this street's rising fast. So whether you're in the market for a mid-century gem or just want to know where the friendliest mailboxes are, Diamond Boulevard is worth a slow drive and maybe a front porch hello. That's your neighborhood notes for today. I'm Jonathan Riley. Alright, now we get into the next segment, the art spot. Swing by the east wall of Clover Park High School and you'll be greeted by a vibrant splash of color, creativity, and community spirit. The We Are Lakewood mural. And my wife sneezed. That is my wife. She does that sometimes. She'll sneeze out of nowhere and it's just, it gives that background vibrance to this show. It's awesome. And it shows support by, she only does that when I'm doing good. She's like, achoo! Good job, honey. But the stunning piece was designed and brought to life by students, guided by the talented local artist, Liza Romero. Together, they captured the heart of Lakewood through bold colors and meaningful symbols. Look closely and you'll see iconic Lakewood landmarks woven throughout the artwork piece. Places that make this city unique and special. There are also multicultural handprints representing the diverse voices and backgrounds that make up the fabric of this community. And here's a cool secret. Hidden behind one of the bricks is a time capsule, carefully sealed and set to be opened in 2045. It's a bridge between generations, a way for today's youth to say, we were here, and for the future to remember them. Clover Park High School, home to around 1,100 students, is part of a vibrant, diverse school district serving Lakewood and even families from nearby Joint Base Lewis McChord. This mural isn't just art. It's a legacy of connection, hope, and pride. A perfect snapshot of the Lakewood way, where art meets legacy and legacy meets youth. So next time you're near 11023 Gravity Lake Drive, swing by and soak it all in. The We Are Lakewood mural is more than just paint on a wall. It's a living celebration of community, culture, and creativity. Now we get into some fun here. Now we're going to go into This Week in Time. Let's rewind the cosmic cassette and flip through some of history's greatest hits from this week in time. On July 24th, 1969, Apollo 11 made its triumphant return to Earth after the first ever moon landing. Astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean, completing an 8-day mission that changed the way we see the stars forever. The world held its breath as the command module, Columbia, blazed through the atmosphere at 24,000 miles per hour, bringing humanity back home after walking on the lunar surface. They were even quarantined for a bit just in case the moon had any surprises for us. Fast forward to July 24th, 1998. The day Saving Private Ryan hit theaters, directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Tom Hanks. This intense World War II drama rewrote the rules for war movies. Its gritty, realistic battle scenes and emotional storytelling earned it 11 Oscar nominations and 5 wins, including Best Director. It changed Hollywood's summer blockbuster landscape forever, proving audiences craved powerful stories alongside action. Back in 1974, also on July 24th, the U.S. Supreme Court delivered a landmark ruling in United States versus Nixon. The court unanimously ordered President Richard Nixon to hand over the secret White House tapes connected to the Watergate scandal. This decision was a defining moment for American democracy, reminding us that no one, not even the president, is above the law. Just a few weeks later, Nixon resigned, ending one of the biggest political crises in U.S. history. And speaking of revolutions, while it didn't happen this week, in 2005, a little site called YouTube was still in its infancy, figuring out how to get people to upload those viral cat videos and more. Founded by former PayPal employees Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim, YouTube would soon become the world's go-to video platform, changing how we share stories, laugh, learn, and connect across the globe. History unfolds one moment at a time, but its echoes last lifetimes. Now let's dive into some voices from the past. Today's quote comes from Nikola Tesla, the electric prophet himself. The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine. Tesla spoke these words back in 1927 during an interview addressing the many battles over his inventions, like the radio, and the recognition he felt he deserved. He was confident that even if his work wasn't fully appreciated in his own time, history would eventually honor his contributions. It's a powerful reminder that the work we do today, whether it's groundbreaking, innovation, or a simple act of kindness, shapes the future. Tesla's vision wasn't just about electricity or technology. It was about leaving a legacy that outlives the present moment. So think about that timeline. Every small action you take, even something as humble as donating a book to your local library or making a donut for your neighbor, contributes to the story of tomorrow. We're all inventors of the future in our own ways. What we do now is more than just today. It's the foundation of what's to come. Now it's time for the Time Capsule Spotlight. Every week we'll pick a year from the past and go deep into that. This year, or this time, it's going to be 1989. Okay? So welcome to 1989, a year where cassette tapes still ruled the airwaves. And neon wasn't just a color, it was a full-on personality. The era before smartphones and streaming, where the sound of a pencil rewinding a tape was just part of the soundtrack of life. Let's dive into what made 1989 unforgettable. Top movies. Batman burst onto the big screen, bringing Gotham's Dark Knight to life with a moody, stylized edge. Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson made it a blockbuster that redefined comic book movies forever. Meanwhile, The Little Mermaid splashed into theaters, launching the Disney Renaissance with unforgettable songs and Ariel's longing for a world beyond the sea. Dead Poets Society struck a chord with Robin Williams, inspiring students to seize the day, reminding us all that poetry and passion belong in the classroom and beyond. And let's not forget When Harry Met Sally, a romantic comedy that still sparks the debate. Can men and women just be friends? Spoiler alert, it's complicated. Now we get into tech trends. July 1989 saw the launch of Nintendo's Game Boy in North America, forever changing how we play on the go. Portable gaming became a thing, and thanks to Tetris, that iconic, endlessly addictive, block-dropping puzzle, we all spent hours fumbling with our little handheld consoles. Yes, that's when Tetris Thumb was born. And no, it's not a medical condition, just a badge of honor from endless hours of stacking blocks. Music scene. Madonna was ruling the charts with her bold, boundary-pushing anthem, Like a Prayer, blending pop with powerful imagery and sparking conversations across the globe. She was voguing, showing us that music was more than sound. It was an attitude. And to be honest, my 1980s crush, Madonna. Thank you. On the flip side, 1989 also brought the infamous Milli Vanilli scandal. The duo's lip-syncing fiasco became one of music's biggest controversies. At a live show in July, their backing track malfunctioned, exposing the truth to stunned fans. This would eventually lead to them losing their Grammy, reminding us that sometimes the show isn't always what it seems. A moment that changed the world. And then the Berlin Wall, the iconic symbol of division, crumbled. On November 9th, East Germany announced that citizens could cross the border freely, sparking celebrations as families reunited and history shifted live on TV screens worldwide. It was the beginning of the end of the Cold War, a dramatic reminder that walls, both physical and ideological, can fall when enough people demand change. Would we survive 1989 today? To survive 1989, you need a pencil to rewind your cassette tapes, patience to wait for dial-up internet. Oh, I hated dial-up internet. I remember that. Or maybe no internet at all. And an appreciation for the slower pace of life. No smartphones, no streaming, just radios, Walkmans, and face-to-face conversations. But maybe that's not such a bad thing. The magic of discovering music by chance, the thrill of popping a new movie in the VHS player, and the simple joy of beating your high score on Tetris. That's a world worth remembering. So if you had to live in 1989 again, could you?
Yeah.
I say yes. The wife says yes, as long as I've got a pencil handy. Next, we got historical figures who believed in time travel. Time travel might sound like sci-fi magic, but some serious thinkers in history gave it a lot of thought, sometimes even claimed they experienced it themselves. Take H.G. Wells for starters. In 1895, he penned The Time Machine, a novella that didn't just entertain, it practically invented the entire genre of time travel stories. Wells imagined a future where you could hop forward or backward through time, opening the door for countless dreams, theories, and even scientific speculation. He wasn't just a storyteller. He was a visionary who helped shape how we think about time itself. But Wells wasn't alone in pondering these mysteries. Sir Victor Goddard was a British Royal Air Force officer in the 1930s with a story straight out of a thriller. On a routine flight in 1935, Goddard claimed his plane flew through a strange electrical disturbance, and suddenly he saw the airfield ahead, but it looked abandoned and run down, like it was decades into the future. When he landed later, he found the airfield had indeed been closed and fallen into disrepair, just like his vision predicted. Was it a hallucinogenic? I know, not hallucinogenic. Was it a hallucination?
Yeah.
A glitch in time?
Yeah.
Goddard was convinced it was a glimpse of the future. Then there's J.W. Dunn, a British aeronautical engineer and philosopher. In 1927, he published an experiment with time, proposing a radical idea. Time is not just a one-way street. According to Dunn, our dreams allow us to perceive multiple timelines or dimensions simultaneously, past, present, and future all folded together. He believed that time is layered and that consciousness can slip between these layers, explaining precognitive dreams and deja vu. His ideas influenced writers and thinkers for decades. And of course, the enigmatic Nikola Tesla, the man behind so many electrical innovations. Tesla reportedly believed that time and space were linked and could be manipulated with electromagnetic fields. Some accounts say he experimented with devices that could tap into time itself, or at least disrupt the fabric of reality. Those details remain mysterious and often exaggerated. Tesla's fascination with time places him among those who imagine bending the rules of our universe. So, were these figures simply brilliant scientists exploring the edges of knowledge? Or were they visionaries, or even prophets, peering into the deeper mysteries of existence? Maybe they were a bit of all three. Now let's dive into the realm of ancient aliens, but with a healthy grain of salt and maybe a cheeky wink. What's a cheeky wink? A cheeky wink. Anyway, take the Pyramid of Giza, for example. These massive monuments were constructed over 4,500 years ago with such mind-boggling precision, perfectly aligned to the cardinal points, built from millions of limestone blocks weighing tons each. Some folks argue that this level of mathematical and engineering mastery seems way beyond the tools and technology available to the ancient Egyptians. Could extraterrestrial architects have dropped by to lend a hand? Or what about Stonehenge in England? Those giant standing stones are arranged in a way that tracks the summer and winter solstices with uncanny accuracy. For thousands of years, people have puzzled over how and why they were placed so deliberately, suggesting maybe these ancient people had advanced astronomical knowledge, perhaps taught by visitors from another world. Then there are the mysterious Nazca lines in Peru, gigantic geoglyphs depicting animals, plants, and shapes so enormous that they can only really be appreciated from the sky. Did ancient people draw these as messages or maps for visitors from space? Or were they some kind of ceremonial art meant for the gods? The theory goes, maybe we weren't alone in our early days. Maybe ancient civilizations had help from the stars. Visitors from other worlds, guiding our ancestors toward monumental achievements. On the flip side, skeptics remind us humans are incredibly clever, especially when faced with the unknown and the ticking clock of mortality. We innovate, we create, we push boundaries. We push boundaries, not boundaries. Often inspired by awe, fear, or the desire to connect with something bigger than ourselves. So, believers look up to the cosmos and see hints of alien intervention, while skeptics see the triumph of human ingenuity. I don't know. Either way, the big question remains, just as tantalizing today as it was thousands of years ago. Why are we here? And maybe the more haunting one, were we ever truly alone? Okay, now we get into the meat of the show here. The disappearance of the Beaumont children. January 26th, 1966. Glenelg Beach, a sun-drenched seaside town in South Australia. 3 siblings, Jane, Arna, and little Grant Beaumont, left home for a brief afternoon trip to the beach. What should have been an ordinary day turned into a nightmare that still haunts Australia today. The Beaumont children vanished without a trace. Let's meet the family, Norman and Nancy Beaumont, loving parents of 3 children. Jane, 9, the eldest, responsible and protective. Arna, 7, curious and lively. And Grant, just 4, playful and full of energy. The family lived in Somerton Park, a quiet suburb near Glenelg, or something like that. On Australia Day, a national holiday, the kids set off mid-afternoon, excited for their beach adventure, and a special treat, a packet of fish and chips from the local shop. Their mother, Nancy, had given them money and expected them home shortly, but they never came back. Eyewitnesses placed the children near the Glenelg jetty around 3:45 p.m. One woman described seeing the kids talking to a man, mid-20s, medium build, dark hair, wearing a light-colored shirt. No one saw what was said, but the man's presence raises questions. Who was he? Did he lure the children? Decades later, despite sketches, he remained unidentified. A local fisherman later reported seeing the children playing alone, seemingly unharmed, around 4 p.m. When the children didn't return by early evening, alarm bells rang. Families and neighbors frantically searched the beach, parks, nearby streets. Police quickly got involved, launching a full investigation. Posters went up, newspaper headlines blared, "Missing children! Help find Jane, Arna, and Grant Beaumont." Thousands of volunteers joined the search over the following days. Despite extensive efforts, no sign of the children were ever found. Over the years, numerous suspects were investigated. One notable figure was Bevan Spencer von Ennem, convicted in the 1980s for killing boys in Adelaide. Police considered him a potential suspect, but no concrete evidence linked him to the Beaumont case. Another man, described as the man in the light shirt, was never identified despite composite sketches. There were tips about a van seen near the beach, but no vehicles matched descriptions. Each lead fizzled, each suspect cleared or unverifiable. Several theories dominate. Lone abductor, a predator who took the children, possibly for personal reasons. Human trafficking. Some believe an organized group was involved, though evidence is scarce. Cult or underground activity. Rumors suggest secret societies or cults, but this remains speculative. Accidental death and cover-up. Some think the children may have died accidentally and were hidden. The truth remains elusive. The disappearance was a wake-up call for Australia. Parents' trust was shaken. Stranger danger awareness grew. Law enforcement improved protocols for missing children cases. The Beaumont case became a tragic turning point in child safety culture. Today, cold case detectives use new tools. Ground-penetrating radar scan areas near Glenelg. I don't even know if I'm saying Glenelg right, but it looks right. But anyway, DNA technology evolves, offering potential to identify remains if they're found. In 2021, police renewed appeals for information. The community remains vigilant. The disappearance of Jane, Arna, and Grant Beaumont is more than a case. It's a reminder of innocence lost, a call to protect children, a story that still resonates decades later. If you know anything about this case, no matter how small, please contact South Australia Police. The search for answers continues. You know, you may be able to help. But thank you for joining me in remembering the Beaumont children. Hey everyone, welcome back to Crow's Corner Night on this Time Warp Thursday, July 24th, 2025. I'm Crow, otherwise known as Jonathan Riley. Crow's a nickname that I've had forever. And tonight's not going to be sugar-coated. This week's been a roller coaster. Some moments felt like real wins, moments that reminded me why I do what I do. But then there were the other ones, the quiet ones. The ones where you sit alone in a room, wrestling with the weight of your own thoughts. The ones where you wonder if you're doing enough, or if you're just barely holding things together. So tonight, I'm not here to pretend everything's fine. I'm here to be honest, because I know I'm not the only one who's had a week like that. And maybe, if we talk about it, maybe if we share even just a little bit, it won't feel so quite so heavy. So grab whatever comforts you tonight. A drink, a pet, a blanket, your significant other, or just take a deep breath. And let's talk. No pressure, no judgment, just truth. This is Crow's Corner, and tonight, we keep it real. Now, first up is personal life. You know, to start with something good, Tuesday gave me a moment I really needed. Break in the clouds. My wife, my stepdaughter, and I got out of the house for a bit. Nothing fancy. Just a little outing, some time with friends, the dog running around, tail going wild like it hadn't felt joy in days. You know that kind of pure energy pets have that just remind you, hey, this moment right here, this is living. We laughed. We talked. We soaked up the summer air. It felt normal. It felt whole. But if I'm being honest, and I always try to be honest here on this mic, that one bright moment felt like an island, floating in a sea of heavy. Past few days have been hard. I've been battling a fog I can't shake, feeling low, drained, depressed, and it's not just a mood swing or a bad night's sleep. It's that kind of heaviness that creeps into your bones. The bone. The kind where even the smallest tasks feel massive. Where you look in the mirror and wonder, am I even doing enough for the people I love? Lately, I've felt like I'm falling short. As a husband, as a stepfather, and especially as a son. My mom's health, declining. It's tough to even talk about it. She can barely stay on her feet anymore. Watching someone you love struggle just to move, it does something to you. Chips away at your sense of control. Makes you feel helpless, even when you're trying your best. Today, I had to go with her to Madigan, the Army hospital, just so she could get her medication. And you'd think a routine trip like that would be simple, right? But it wasn't. It never is these days. It was draining. Just physically, emotionally, all of it. The waiting rooms, the bureaucracy, watching her shuffle from the shuttle bus to the wheelchair, slowly while pretending she's okay. Seeing her try to smile through the pain. I tell you, that smile is the part that breaks me the most. And when we finally got back home, just hoping for a little quiet, here comes my brother. Started yelling at me. Over what? Honestly, I couldn't even tell you. It wasn't even about anything specific. Sometimes it feels like I'm a target. Like I'm only visible when someone needs something or wants someone to blame. And I know I'm not alone in this. I know some of you listening right now are nodding along thinking, yeah, I've been there too. Some days it feels like I'm running on fumes. Like my purpose is just to fix everything. carry everything, be everything for everyone, and then get scolded the second I fall short. I feel invisible sometimes, not in a dramatic, nobody sees me type of way, just like I could vanish into thin air and nothing would stop. Because the only time people notice me is when something breaks, or when something needs to be done, or when I'm being told what I didn't do. But I'm trying. I swear, I am. I'm trying to keep it together, to keep showing up for my wife, my stepdaughter, my mom, even for my brother, whether he realizes it or not. It's not easy though, and it's not always pretty. I get overwhelmed. I shut down for a bit, too long before I can get back up, but I still get back up. I know I'm not perfect, but I'm here. I'm present, and I care deeply, maybe too deeply. So if you're in a similar place right now, if you're carrying more than your fair share, if you feel unseen, unheard, or like the weight of the world is pressing down on you, just know this. You're not alone. You're not weak. You're not failing just because you're feeling. You're human. And being human, that means trying, stumbling, hurting, but still finding a way to stand. Even when no one's clapping for you, even when the applause never comes, you're still standing, and that's something. And for me, I'll keep trying, I'll keep loving, I'll keep walking this tightrope between holding it all together and letting myself fall apart for just long enough to breathe. And you didn't hear it, but my brother's in there yelling for me now. John, John. I tell you, man, the boy drives me nuts. But thanks for letting me share all this. Now we get into some hopeful notes, some really big news for talk radio. We officially got a yes from LASA. That's Living Access Support Alliance, for those who aren't familiar. I went over Tuesday. I went over and talked to them. Or Wednesday it was. Yeah, it was yesterday, Wednesday. I'm getting my days mixed up. But starting in August, LASA will become an official community partner of the show. And I gotta say, this means a lot to me personally. This isn't just about adding a name to a list or reading off a sponsor card. This is about working with people who are actually doing something. People who show up. People who care. People who are on the front lines of fighting homelessness, supporting families, and connecting folks with the resources they need right here in Lakewood. What this partnership looks like is still evolving, but I've got some ideas. We'll be doing regular spotlight segments, interviews with LASA team members, volunteers, and even some of the families they've helped, with permission, of course. Real people, real stories. We'll create a resource roundup segment, helping people understand what services are out there, what's available this week, where to go for help, and how to get involved. We're also working on co-branded outreach efforts like collecting school supplies, running donation drives, maybe even putting together a winter warmth campaign come fall. And LASA will have a reoccurring voice in the talk radio community, not just as a guest, but as a part of the ongoing mission of what we're building here. Because let's be real, this show has always been has been more, this show has always been about more than jokes and headlines. It's about stories, people, struggles, hope. And if we can use this platform to do even a little good, to shine a little light where it's needed, then we're doing something right. That said, can I be honest for a minute? Part of me is scared. Not of LASA. They've been nothing but amazing. But I'm scared that maybe I won't be able to live up to what this partnership could be. That I'll drop the ball somehow. That I'll mess up telling someone's story, or won't do the work justice. That it won't live up to what I see in my head. But maybe that's part of it. Maybe the point isn't to have it all figured out. It's to care enough to try. and to keep showing up even when it's messy, even when you're not sure what you're doing. Because if there's one thing I've learned watching Elasa in action, it's that showing up matters. So here we are, showing up together. And I'm excited. Nervous, yes, but excited to see where this partnership goes. Now I'm going to talk about some big goals and Crow Rules vision. I've been doing a lot of brainstorming lately. Probably more than I should. Just sitting with my thoughts, dreaming, doubting, trying to map out how to grow this thing. See, talk radio isn't just a podcast to me, it's a seed. And I want it to grow into something way bigger than me. Something rooted right here in Lakewood, but with branches that stretch out into the whole entertainment world. I want this show and Crow Rules Entertainment to become a platform, a real platform, one that uplifts stories, voices, and talent that often go overlooked. I want to be the voice of Lakewood. Yeah, I know that might sound crazy, but I've always believed in dreaming big, especially when the dreams are rooted in service. Crow Rules Entertainment. I don't want that to be just a logo slapped on some flyers. I want it to become a creative engine, a hub for podcasts, short films, community-centered documentaries, projects that celebrate the people, the weirdness, the resilience, the soul of our neighborhood, and the world. I've been sketching out the first version of Crow Rules' website, the updated website. I'm going to be updating the website. Once the Dandies World Tournament wraps up, I'll be going full throttle on that. Talking about something interactive, something real. There's going to be a crow's nest wall of donors and sponsors, a way to honor the people who believed in this from the start. We'll have donation tiers, sure, but with real rewards. Behind the scenes content, early access, shout outs, even naming rights for segments. Not because I'm chasing money, but because I want to build a community. One that's invested emotionally and creatively. And that money, it's not for me to ball out. It's for better equipment, professional editing software, maybe even a mobile studio setup. Imagine a talk radio van pulling up to community events, city council meetings, high school sports games, broadcasting stories live from the heart of Lakewood. That's how you build something real. I'm also developing something called Crow's Memory Nest, a digital memorial space for tributes, dedications, and memorial projects. It's for those who are gone but never forgotten. Whether it's a short tribute film, a digital memory wall, or a voiceover dedication. I want people to have a space where memories live on, where we can say, hey, they matter, and we still carry them. But look, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm scared. I've got this big, ambitious dream, and some nights I sit there and think, what if I'm just chasing smoke? What if no one cares? But then I remember, everything I love about life has come from someone taking a risk to entertain people, to make them feel something. That's what I want Crow Rules Entertainment to do. Because this isn't just about me or this show. I want Crow Rules Entertainment to one day be a home for all things entertainment. TV, movies, music, sports, content creation, award shows, live streams, tributes, collaboration. Everything that has...
Jason! What is your problem? Leave her be. And be quiet. John is trying to record shit. You don't need to yell. No, you're not going to shut my door.
Yes, please. Never mind. Everything that has to do with entertaining people and making them feel less alone in the world. I see a world where Crow Rules hosts its own Ravens Honor Awards, celebrating the best in indie entertainment, local talent, and unsung heroes in storytelling and performance. I dream of opening a physical creative space, a small studio/community center where people can learn, film, record, and collaborate in quiet and in peace. A place where students get to experiment, where local artists find their voice, where Lakewood gets seen and heard. So yeah, big goals, big vision, but the heart of it all, connection, storytelling, purpose. That's the dream I'm chasing. That's the nest I'm building, feather by feather. And I hope you all keep riding with me. Now, some heavy news. This week, we lost three giants, three icons from three completely different walks of life: television, music, and wrestling. And each one of them hit differently. First, Malcolm Jamal Warner, born August 18, 1970, and died July 20th, 2025. If you grew up in the 80s or 90s, you knew Malcolm Jamal Warner. He was Theo Huxtable, the cool older brother on The Cosby Show who brought humor, warmth, and a whole lot of soul to primetime television. He wasn't just part of a hit show, he was part of a cultural movement. But what made Malcolm special wasn't just how he started. It was how he grew. He transitioned gracefully from child star to serious artist. He avoided the pitfalls so many others couldn't escape. He became a respected poet, a jazz musician, and a thoughtful, grounded actor with depth. In his adult career, he shined in shows like Read Between the Lines, Sons of Anarchy, American Crime Story, and The Resident. He didn't need the spotlight to burn bright. He just did the work with integrity and artistry. On July 20th, Malcolm tragically drowned while body surfing in Costa Rica. Authorities confirmed it was an accidental death by asphyxiation due to submersion. He was just 54 years old. His passing feels deeply personal. We watched him grow up, and now we mourn his loss, not just as a performer, but as a voice, a soul, and a symbol of quiet excellence. Rest in peace, Malcolm. You were the definition of doing it right. Second, we had Ozzy Osbourne, born December 3rd, 1948, passed away July 22nd, 2025. This one hurts because Ozzy wasn't just a musician. He was a movement. Whether you were banging your head to Black Sabbath, screaming along to Crazy Train, or watching him shuffle through the kitchen on the Osbournes. Ozzy was the Prince of Darkness, the madman, the legend, the survivor. He redefined what it meant to be a rock star. Chaos, excess, vulnerability, and genius all in one. From biting the head off a bat on stage to opening his family's life to reality TV audiences. Ozzy blurred the line between myth and man. He was wild and unpredictable. But he was also funny, loving, and deeply human. In recent years, his health declined. Parkinson's disease, surgeries, and a serious fall in 2019 slowed him down. But even then, he never gave up. His final performance just weeks before his death was a surprise reunion with Black Sabbath in Birmingham. One last roar from the stage. One last reminder of what he meant to music. Ozzy Osbourne passed away on July 22nd, surrounded by his family. He was 76. Long live the Prince of Darkness. You gave us the soundtrack for rebellion, heartbreak, and everything in between. Thank you, Ozzy, for the noise, the honesty, and the raw, unfiltered life you lived. And finally, Hulk Hogan, born August 11th, 1953, died July 24th, today, 2025. The immortal one. Whether you were a kid in the 80s waving foam fingers and screaming, "What you gonna do, brother?" or a teen in the 90s throwing up the Too Sweet with the black and white NWO, Hulk Hogan was a generational icon. He wasn't just a wrestler. He was wrestling. A household name. A pop culture fixture. He headlined the first WrestleMania. He turned heel and reinvented himself. He crossed over into Hollywood, cartoons, music, and TV. For better or worse, he was everywhere. Of course, Hogan's legacy is complicated. Controversies followed him: legal battles, leaked recordings, personal failures, but even in the messiness, there's no denying the impact he had on millions. He made wrestling cool. He made it mainstream. He gave kids something to believe in, and grown-ups something to debate. On July 24th, Hulk Hogan passed away at his home in Clearwater, Florida. Emergency crews responded to a cardiac incident, but he was pronounced dead at the hospital. He was 71 years old. And just like that, the man who once seemed larger than life, who called himself immortal, is gone. But the echoes of Hulkamania, they'll never fade. Rest easy, Hulk. Thank you for the power, the presence, and the unforgettable moments. Final thoughts. 3 legends, 3 lives, 3 very different legacies. Malcolm Jamal Warner showed us that you can grow with grace, create with purpose, and rise above expectations. Ozzy Osbourne reminded us that imperfection doesn't mean weakness, that chaos can birth brilliance. Hulk Hogan gave us a living cartoon turned real-world superhero, and all the highs and lows that came with it. In 1 week, we lost a piece of television, a piece of rock and roll, and a piece of wrestling history. These deaths aren't just headlines. They're gut punches, reminders of how fast time moves, how fragile life is, how deeply entertainment shapes our memories. So tonight, remember, watch an old clip, blast a song, tell a story, because when we remember them, when we honor them, a little part of them lives on. And that's the real legacy. Next, I'm going to talk about Ravens Honor Awards. That's part of why I'm building something new here. Something that I hope becomes a cornerstone of Pro Rules Entertainment and a celebration that lives far beyond me. It's called the Ravens Honor Awards. Now, I'll be real with you. It's still early, like scribbles in a notebook at 2 a.m. early, but the vision is alive and well. The idea is this: a yearly awards show that honors excellence in all forms of entertainment. I'm talking about TV, movies, music, sports, content creation, gaming, live streaming, art, theater. If it moves people, if it shapes culture, if it makes you feel something, it's fair game. But here's the thing. This isn't just about glitz and fame, it's about impact. It's about celebrating the people who inspire, not just the ones with millions of followers, but the ones who change lives quietly, the creators, the athletes, the dreamers and doers, the underdogs, and yes, even the local legends who never stop pushing forward. I want this award show to be more than a trophy night. I want it to be a reflection of what makes entertainment and humanity beautiful. Passion, resilience, vulnerability, truth, and storytelling. And because I want to do this right, I'm pushing the launch year back. I was going to do 2027. I'm going to push it to 2028. I need time to build this. Really get the foundation right, to figure out the logistics, the format, the partnerships, the production, all of it. If I'm being honest, I have no idea how I'm going to pull this off. I don't have a roadmap. I don't have a production company backing me. I don't have a massive budget or a celebrity contact list. But what I do have is a vision, a work ethic, a semi-work ethic, and a deep belief that something like this matters. People deserve to be celebrated not just when they're big, but when they're bold. So I'm going to keep moving forward, one step at a time, one connection at a time, one idea at a time. And I'll be sharing the process with you right here on Talk Radio. So if you're listening and thinking, hey, I'd love to help with something like this, reach out to me. Let's build something powerful together. The Ravens Honor Awards coming 2028. Not just for the famous, for the fearless. Now, reflections and real talk here. I want to be fully open with y'all. because that's the only way I know how to do this. Some days it feels like the weight on my shoulders is just too much to bear. Like there's this invisible pressure to be everything for everyone, a provider, a creator, a friend, a family man. And sometimes I wonder if I'm stretching myself too thin. I question if what I'm doing matters, if it's enough, or if I'm making any real impact at all. Other days, though, I swing the other way. I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like the clock is ticking and I'm stuck. Maybe even holding myself back by overthinking or doubting. That fear of failure or of falling short creeps in and clouds the big picture. But through all those highs and lows, the constant doubt and the fleeting confidence, I keep coming back to this. I know who I am. I'm a creator. I'm a storyteller. I'm a guy trying to build something out of honesty, effort, and heart. I'm not here to pretend to be perfect or have it all figured out. I'm here to share pieces of my journey, the struggles and the small wins alike, with realness and a little bit of hope. I don't have the fanciest gear or the biggest audience yet, but that doesn't stop me because what I do have is something way more important, a vision, a clear sense of purpose, the kind of fire inside that won't quit, no matter how many setbacks come my way. And that's what's keeping me going. The belief that with enough persistence, with enough grit, and with a genuine heart, this little voice I'm building can become something bigger than me. A place where others feel they belong too. So if even one person out there, hears this and feels seen or inspired to chase their own dream, or just knows they're not alone, then that's enough for today. That's what matters most. Because at the end of the day, it's not about numbers or fame. It's about connection. It's about lifting each other up. And it's about having the courage to keep going no matter what. Thanks for being here with me. It means more than you know. Before I wrap up this Crow's Corner, just a couple of reminders. If you believe in what I'm doing, consider supporting my show or Crow Rules Entertainment. When the website launches after Dandy's World, when I close it down to upgrade it, the donation wall and tier rewards will be ready. Every little bit helps, and I'll be transparent every step of the way. In the meantime, share the show, tell a friend, leave a comment, help spread the word. We've got some big things coming. NASA partnership launch, more deep dives on talk radio, Pro Rules Entertainment, website getting an upgrade. I'm going to be working on it, planning the first ever Ravens Honor Awards, and me, still here, microphone on, heart open. I want to be real with you for a second. I don't always know how I'm going to get to where I want to be. I don't always know how to grow this YouTube channel or how to get all the ideas swirling in my head out into the world. There are days when it feels overwhelming. Like the finish line keeps moving just out of reach. But here's the thing. I'm working on it. Every single day, doing the very best I can to bring you the best entertainment, the most honest stories, and the deepest connections I can. That's a promise. Whew! Time is heavy, but it's also full of hope and wonder. From donuts and disappearances to pyramids and porch libraries. Today reminded us that history isn't just something locked away in dusty textbooks. It's lives all around us, in buildings, in memories, in voices. And sometimes in the mysteries we still can't explain. That's a wrap on this week's Time Warp Thursday. If you enjoyed the journey through the ages, do me a favor. Subscribe, share with your fellow time travelers, and drop a review. Because the more voices we bring together, the louder and clearer the echo of history becomes. I'm Jonathan Riley, your guide through the past, present, and future. Signing off from the tangled threads of time. Catch you next time, same wormhole.
got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad,
Yeah.
baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I won't obey. You cannot tell me what I cannot say. I'm here to last, so yeah, I'm here to stay. I'll live each second like my final day. You can't take that away. Yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.